When we talk about goals, most people think about achieving what is realistic, what is safe, what won't challenge them too much. But the truth is, growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. Growth happens when we stretch ourselves, when we aim higher than we ever thought possible, and when we dare to step into the space where we might fail, but we try anyway. Setting goals that push you beyond your limits is not about recklessness. It's about understanding what you are capable of becoming, not just what you are capable of doing today. Every person has a reservoir of untapped potential, but it stays untapped unless we give ourselves the courage to aim higher. The first step is clarity. You need to know not just what you want to achieve, but why you want it. When your goal is connected to a purpose that matters to you, it becomes more than a task. It becomes a mission. Purpose is the fuel that keeps you moving when the path gets difficult and obstacles are inevitable. The second step is bravery. True goals are uncomfortable. They force you to confront your weaknesses, your fears, and sometimes your own self-doubt. But these moments are the moments that matter most. Every breakthrough starts with discomfort, and every achievement starts with a decision to take a step forward, even when you are unsure. The third step is discipline. Pushing yourself beyond your limits doesn't mean burning yourself out. It means showing up consistently, making deliberate choices every day that align with your goal. Discipline transforms ambition into results. It turns a dream into a plan, and a plan into reality. The fourth step is reflection. As you chase your goals, take time to pause and ask, am I learning? Am I growing? Pushing your limits isn't just about reaching the finish line. It's about the person you become in the process. Every failure, every challenge, every setback is a lesson that strengthens your resilience and sharpens your skill. Finally, the fifth step is persistence. You will encounter doubt, fatigue, and moments when giving up seems easier than going on. This is where the goals that truly push you beyond your limits separate themselves from ordinary goals. They require a commitment, not just to the end result, but to the process itself. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. When you set goals that push you beyond your limits, you are telling the world, and more importantly, yourself, that you are willing to grow, to learn, and to evolve. You are saying that mediocrity is not an option, and that your potential is worth the effort, the struggle, and the risk. And the beautiful truth is, when you push beyond your limits, you discover that your limits were never fixed. They were only boundaries in your mind. And once those boundaries are broken, there is no ceiling to what you can achieve. Key keynotes of the speech: purpose-driven goals connect every goal to a deeper why to fuel persistence and motivation. Embrace discomfort. Growth and breakthroughs come from stepping beyond your comfort zone. Discipline over motivation, consistent actions, not bursts of energy, turn goals into reality. Learn through reflection. Every setback and challenge strengthens your skills and resilience. Persistent commitment. True progress requires enduring effort, even when success feels distant. When we think about setting goals, it is easy to focus on the outcome itself. People often aim for a promotion, a number in the bank, a personal achievement, or a title. But the problem with setting goals without a deeper purpose is that they quickly lose their power. Goals without a why are like a ship without a rudder. They may move, but they drift without direction. And when challenges arise, it becomes easy to abandon them. To truly achieve something that pushes you beyond your limits, you must connect your goal to a purpose that matters deeply to you. Purpose is the energy that fuels persistence when motivation fades and obstacles appear more formidable than they actually are. Without purpose, even small setbacks can feel like insurmountable failures, and what could have been an extraordinary journey turns into a discouraging struggle. Purpose transforms a goal from a simple task into a mission, one that becomes integral to who you are and what you value. Purpose-driven goals compel you to wake up every day with intention. When you know your why, you start making decisions differently. You prioritize differently. You approach challenges differently. The clarity that purpose provides creates a lens through which you view the world, allowing you to see not just the obstacles, but the opportunities hidden within them. For example, someone who sets a goal to run a marathon simply to complete it may find themselves quitting halfway when the training becomes painful. But someone who links that goal to a deeper reason, perhaps to prove to themselves that they are capable of discipline or to inspire their children to embrace persistence, can push through the same pain with renewed energy. Purpose gives endurance to your efforts. It makes the hard work meaningful because the goal is no longer external. It becomes part of your identity. Another essential aspect of purpose-driven goals is that they help you prioritize action over distraction. In today's world, it is easy to be busy, but being busy is not the same as being productive. Without a clear purpose, you can spend endless hours doing things that seem important in the short term, but do not advance you toward your true objective. Purpose serves as a compass, guiding your energy toward the activities that actually matter. It allows you to say no to distractions, to resist temptation, and to invest your time and resources into actions that align with your core mission. Every choice you make starts to reflect the commitment you have to your purpose, and gradually, your entire life begins to move in a direction that feels intentional rather than random. Purpose also provides resilience in the face of failure. When a goal is tied only to an outcome, failure can feel like a judgment on your worth or ability. But when a goal is tied to a purpose, failure becomes a learning moment, a step in a larger journey rather than a permanent roadblock. You are able to extract lessons, Adjust your strategies and maintain your motivation because the purpose behind your goal is bigger than a single success or failure. It is the understanding that you are pursuing something that matters so deeply to you that even setbacks are part of the process, and progress is measured not just by the result, but by how much you grow along the way. Furthermore, purpose-driven goals ignite passion and creativity. When your goal matters to you, your mind begins to search for solutions actively. You notice opportunities that others overlook. You innovate, adapt, and push boundaries in ways that someone pursuing a superficial or externally imposed goal cannot. Purpose generates energy that keeps you moving forward, and it attracts support from others who resonate with your mission. People are naturally drawn to commitment, authenticity, and passion, and a purpose-driven goal communicates all three. Ultimately, setting goals without purpose limits your potential. It keeps you playing small, chasing things that may be impressive to others but do not fulfill you. When you tie your goals to a deep, meaningful purpose, you unlock a reservoir of energy, focus, resilience, and creativity. You are no longer working simply for an outcome. You are shaping yourself into the person who is capable of achieving extraordinary things. Purpose transforms goals from milestones into a journey of growth, pushing you beyond your perceived limits and revealing the potential you might never have known existed. Growth and achievement are rarely comfortable experiences. Most people naturally seek comfort, stability, and predictability, but the truth is that comfort zones are the boundaries that limit our potential. If you want to push yourself beyond your limits, you must learn to embrace discomfort. Discomfort is not a signal to retreat. It is a signal that you are moving in the right direction. Every meaningful accomplishment requires that you confront uncertainty, challenge your habits, and navigate situations that feel unfamiliar or even intimidating. The moment you feel uneasy or hesitant is often the exact moment where transformation begins. Avoiding discomfort may protect you temporarily, but it also keeps you from discovering what you are truly capable of. Discomfort forces you to grow in ways that comfort never can. When we take on challenges that feel difficult or uncomfortable, we stretch our mental, emotional, and physical capacities. Imagine a muscle being strengthened. It only grows when it is pushed, stressed, and challenged. Similarly, our capabilities expand when we step into situations that demand more from us than we think we can give. The process is not painless. It often involves fear, self-doubt, and moments when you question whether you can continue. But these moments are not obstacles, they are opportunities, they are proof that you are confronting limits, and every step forward, even when it is small or uncertain, builds strength, resilience, and confidence. Learning to embrace discomfort also teaches you to manage fear. Fear is a natural reaction to the unknown, and it often manifests when you try something ambitious or unfamiliar. When you shy away from discomfort, you let fear dictate your choices and your potential remains untapped. But when you confront discomfort head on, you realize that fear is not an insurmountable barrier. It is simply a signal that you are moving beyond what is familiar. Each time you act despite fear, you expand your comfort zone, and what once seemed impossible begins to feel achievable. Over time, embracing discomfort becomes less about enduring pain and more about cultivating courage, adaptability, and a mindset that sees challenges as opportunities rather than threats. Discomfort also encourages creativity and innovation. When situations are easy and predictable, the mind tends to follow routine patterns of thinking. But when we face discomfort, we are forced to adapt, problem solve, and think differently. Challenges that push us beyond our comfort zones require us to find solutions we would never have discovered otherwise. Discomfort awakens curiosity and resilience, and it compels us to explore options that lie beyond the obvious. Those who shy away from discomfort often miss the breakthroughs that come from testing boundaries, experimenting with new approaches, and discovering strengths that were hidden until they were needed. Another important aspect of embracing discomfort is that it develops patience and persistence. Growth is rarely instantaneous. The discomfort you experience is often a sign that real progress is happening, even if the results are not immediately visible. Learning to sit with the discomfort, to push through moments of uncertainty and difficulty, strengthens your capacity for long-term achievement. It is in these moments of persistence, when you continue despite challenges, that character is built and potential is realized. Finally, embracing discomfort cultivates self-awareness. It reveals your limits, your fears, and the areas where you can improve. By intentionally putting yourself in situations that test your abilities, you gain insight into your strengths and weaknesses. Discomfort exposes what is holding you back, and it gives you the opportunity to confront it, learn from it, and grow stronger. The more you face discomfort, the more you realize that your limits are not fixed, they are flexible, expandable, and often far beyond what you initially imagined. In life, comfort is appealing, but it is growth that creates meaning and achievement. The path to pushing beyond your limits is rarely smooth, and it is never entirely comfortable. Every time you choose to embrace discomfort, you signal to yourself that you are willing to face uncertainty, take risks, and strive for something greater than what is easy or familiar. It is through these experiences that you discover what you are truly capable of, unlocking a version of yourself that only emerges when you step beyond the boundaries of comfort. Motivation is a powerful feeling, but it is fleeting. It comes and goes depending on our emotions, circumstances, and energy levels. One day we wake up feeling inspired, full of energy and determination. The next day, that same drive may be gone, leaving us frustrated or unproductive. If we rely solely on motivation to push us toward our goals, we are at the mercy of our moods and our progress becomes inconsistent. Discipline, on the other hand, is what sustains action when motivation fades. Discipline is the choice to show up, to act, and to follow through on commitments, regardless of how we feel in the moment. It is the bridge between intention and achievement, and it is the quality that separates those who dream from those who accomplish. Discipline is not about rigidity or punishment. It is about creating systems and habits that make progress inevitable. When you cultivate discipline, you no longer rely on rare bursts of inspiration. Instead, you build routines and structures that ensure consistent action, even when the task feels difficult, boring, or uncomfortable. Discipline turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results because it removes reliance on feelings and replaces it with deliberate, consistent practice. It allows you to take small, meaningful steps every day, which accumulate over time into significant growth. One of the most important aspects of discipline is the ability to delay gratification. Immediate pleasure is tempting, whether it is scrolling on social media, procrastinating on a task, or taking the easy path. Discipline requires recognizing that the discomfort of today is an investment in the rewards of tomorrow. Every time you choose to prioritize your goals over immediate comfort, you strengthen your ability to persevere and to maintain focus on what truly matters. The act of saying no to short-term distractions is what enables long-term success. And the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to make choices that align with your purpose and vision. Discipline also builds resilience. Life is unpredictable, and challenges will inevitably arise. Motivation may disappear when problems become overwhelming or when fatigue sets in, but discipline ensures that you continue to take action regardless of circumstances. It teaches you that progress is not about feeling perfect or having ideal conditions. It is about consistently showing up, doing the work, and making incremental improvements. With discipline, failure is not final. It is simply part of the process. Each setback becomes an opportunity to adjust, learn, and continue moving forward rather than a reason to quit. Another crucial dimension of discipline is focus. In a world filled with distractions, attention is one of the most valuable resources. Discipline trains the mind to concentrate on what matters, to resist the noise, and to devote energy to actions that directly contribute to your goals. It encourages deliberate action, ensuring that your efforts are purposeful rather than scattered. By developing discipline, you gain control over your time, your habits, and your choices, which allows you to consistently invest in activities that push you beyond your limits. Discipline is also empowering because it creates self-trust. Every time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of action and accountability. This self-trust grows exponentially over time, giving you confidence to take on bigger challenges and pursue goals that once felt impossible. Motivation may inspire you briefly, but discipline sustains your progress, builds your capabilities, and strengthens your character. Ultimately, discipline is the engine that turns ambition into achievement. Motivation may light the spark, but discipline keeps the flame burning. It transforms inconsistent effort into consistent growth, ensuring that each day brings you closer to your goals. By prioritizing discipline over motivation, you create a foundation that allows you to push past excuses, overcome fatigue, and stay committed to the work required to reach your highest potential. Discipline is not easy, but it is the most reliable path to meaningful and lasting success. Reflection is a powerful, often overlooked tool in the pursuit of ambitious goals. Many people spend their energy pushing forward, striving for achievement and chasing results, but they rarely pause to consider what they are learning along the way. Without reflection, experience alone is not enough to drive meaningful growth. Reflection allows you to step back, assess your actions, and extract lessons from both successes and failures. It is the process that transforms experience into insight and insight into wisdom, and it is essential for anyone seeking to push beyond their limits. The first value of reflection is that it provides clarity. When you take the time to examine your experiences, you begin to understand what strategies work, what patterns repeat, and where improvements can be made. This clarity allows you to make informed decisions rather than repeating the same mistakes or relying on guesswork. It transforms uncertainty into understanding, giving you a map for your next steps. Without reflection, you may continue exerting effort in ways that are inefficient or misaligned with your ultimate goals, which slows progress and leads to frustration. Reflection also enhances self-awareness. By regularly analyzing your actions, thoughts, and reactions, you gain insight into your strengths and weaknesses. You learn which skills need further development and which habits are holding you back. Self-awareness is not just about identifying areas for improvement. It is about recognizing the unique qualities and capacities you already possess that can be leveraged for greater achievement. When you understand yourself deeply, you are better equipped to make decisions that align with your goals and values, and to approach challenges with a sense of strategy rather than reaction. Another key aspect of reflection is that it reframes failure as feedback. In the pursuit of ambitious goals, setbacks are inevitable, and they can feel discouraging or even devastating. Without reflection, failure often becomes a source of shame or self-doubt. With reflection, failure becomes a lesson. It reveals gaps in knowledge, highlights missteps, and points to areas where resilience and adaptation are needed. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn, to course correct, and to approach the next attempt with more insight and confidence. Reflection turns what could be discouragement into a powerful engine for growth. Reflection also encourages gratitude and perspective. By pausing to consider what has been accomplished, even in small increments, you build a sense of appreciation for your own efforts and progress. This perspective helps prevent burnout, fosters motivation, and reminds you that growth is cumulative. Celebrating progress, no matter how incremental, strengthens your commitment to the larger goal and reinforces the habits and mindset that support continued effort. It is a reminder that the journey itself is as valuable as the destination. Furthermore, reflection cultivates strategic thinking. Goals that push beyond your limits are complex and often require adjustment along the way. Reflection allows you to step out of the day-to-day urgency and consider the bigger picture. It encourages analysis of what is working, what is not, and what alternative approaches might be more effective. By integrating reflection into your routine, you develop the ability to anticipate challenges, adapt plans, and navigate obstacles with greater foresight. The strategic mindset is what separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who plateau despite effort. Reflection is also cumulative in its benefits. Each session of deliberate thought builds on the previous one, creating a deep reservoir of understanding that informs all future actions. Over time, the insights gained through reflection compound, sharpening judgment, improving decision-making, and increasing confidence. It transforms a reactive approach into a proactive, intentional pursuit of goals. Ultimately, reflection is the bridge between experience and growth. Without it, even the most ambitious goals can become a series of repetitive struggles. With it, every challenge, setback, and success becomes a lesson that moves you closer to your highest potential. It is through reflection that experience becomes wisdom, and wisdom becomes the foundation for pushing beyond limits and achieving meaningful, lasting growth. Persistence is the defining factor between those who achieve their goals and those who give up before reaching their potential. It is easy to start with energy, excitement, and optimism, but true progress is measured by the ability to continue when the initial motivation fades and obstacles arise. Persistent commitment is the willingness to remain consistent in your efforts, to keep moving forward even when results are slow or setbacks seem discouraging, and to maintain focus on the long-term vision despite temporary difficulties. Without persistence, even the most ambitious goals can be abandoned before they are realized, leaving potential unfulfilled and dreams incomplete. Persistent commitment requires a mindset that views challenges as an integral part of the journey rather than as threats to your success. Every goal that pushes you beyond your limits will encounter resistance, whether it comes from external circumstances, competing priorities, or internal doubts and fears. The difference between achieving and failing often comes down to the willingness to endure those challenges, to persist when it is easier to quit, and to maintain belief in the value of the goal, even when the immediate path is difficult. Commitment is not determined by how you feel in any given moment, but by your decision to act consistently despite discomfort, fatigue, or uncertainty. One of the key aspects of persistent commitment is the ability to set long-term vision over short-term satisfaction. Progress toward ambitious goals is rarely linear and results are often delayed. It is easy to become frustrated when success does not come quickly or when effort appears to be yielding little visible impact. Persistent commitment allows you to continue taking meaningful steps forward, understanding that each action compounds over time. By maintaining a long-term perspective, you are able to weather the temporary setbacks that might otherwise derail your efforts, and you develop the patience and resilience required to see your goals through to completion. Persistent commitment also strengthens your character. Every time you choose to continue despite difficulty, you reinforce habits of self-discipline, resilience, and focus. You learn to rely on your own determination rather than external validation or motivation, and you develop the confidence that you are capable of overcoming challenges. The act of commitment builds inner strength, which becomes a resource you can draw upon when facing increasingly complex goals or higher levels of difficulty. In this way, persistence not only moves you toward the goal itself, but also transforms you into the kind of person who can achieve even more ambitious objectives in the future. Another critical element of persistence is adaptability. Commitment does not mean rigidly following a single plan without consideration of changing circumstances. Rather, it is the willingness to continue moving forward while learning, adjusting, and improving along the way. Obstacles and failures are inevitable, but persistent commitment enables you to view them as opportunities to refine your approach rather than reasons to give up. It encourages problem-solving, resilience, and creativity because you are driven not only by the desire to succeed, but also by the understanding that continued effort is necessary to navigate uncertainty and reach your full potential. Persistence also inspires others. When people witness consistent effort in the face of difficulty, it creates a sense of credibility, trust, and respect. Persistent commitment signals that your goals are meaningful and that you value progress over ease. It encourages collaboration, support, and accountability as others are naturally drawn to those who demonstrate dedication and unwavering effort. Your persistence becomes contagious, influencing the culture around you and amplifying your impact beyond personal achievement. Ultimately, persistent commitment is the engine that keeps momentum alive. Ambitious goals are rarely achieved in a single breakthrough or sudden success. They are the result of countless deliberate actions taken over time, maintained even when challenges arise and results are not immediate. Each moment of perseverance, each choice to continue despite difficulty, moves you closer to the person you are capable of becoming and the goals you are capable of achieving. Persistence is what transforms intention into accomplishment, potential into reality, and dreams into tangible success. As we reflect on the journey of setting goals that push us beyond our limits, it becomes clear that achievement is not just about talent, opportunity, or luck. It is about purpose, courage, discipline, reflection, and persistence. It is about connecting every goal to a deeper why that fuels action, embracing the discomfort that comes with growth, committing to consistent effort even when motivation fades, learning from every success and setback, and remaining steadfast in our dedication no matter the obstacles we face. When you integrate these principles into your life, you begin to see that limits are not fixed. They are flexible, waiting to be challenged and expanded. Every goal you pursue with purpose and determination reshapes not just what you can achieve, but who you become in the process. The discomfort, the discipline, the setbacks, and the effort are not barriers. They are the catalyst for transformation. Remember, pushing beyond your limits is not about doing what is easy. It is about doing what is necessary to uncover the full extent of your potential. It is about showing up consistently, learning continuously, and persevering relentlessly. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to a version of yourself that you may have thought was out of reach. A version that thrives under challenge, adapts under pressure, and grows with every experience. So take the courage to aim higher than you ever have, to commit fully to your purpose, and to embrace the journey with all its challenges and lessons. When you do, you will discover that the limits you once believed were real were only the boundaries of your imagination. And beyond them lies the extraordinary, waiting for you to claim it.